And so I specifically refer to the early Sunni jurists because the Shi'ah, the early Shi'ah, in particular the Imami Shi'ah, that they themselves were not involved or believed that Ijtihad was haram, right? Especially if you think about the 12 were Shi'ah. So when the 12 Imams were alive, they said, well, Ijtihad is invalid, Qiyas is invalid, right? So it took them some time before they started to embrace the concept of Ijtihad. So, but the Sunni scholars had got started on this very early, right? So, but once the 12th Imam, or supposedly, was born and he was kept in his lesser occultation, and then later on disappeared into his greater occultation, which supposedly returned towards the end of the time. Then after that, the mantle of Shi'ism was passed on what we call the Sufara, their ambassadors, these three men, who were supposedly communicating to the last of the Imams in secret. And then eventually the Mujtahidun, the period of Ijtihad came after that, right? But so the Sunni scholars got, started on this very early. And then a 19th century Maliki jurist known as Ibn al-Hajj al-Fasi from Morocco, from Fes, 13th century, I'm sorry, here, well, yeah, the 13th century Islamic, but from the 19th century, he says that the beginnings of fiqh itself overall, not only fiqh of Islamic commerce, goes back to 27 of the Prophet's companions. And the most important of those 27 are seven, and they are Abdullah bin Mas'ud, Umar ibn Khattab, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Abdullah ibn Umar, Zayd ibn Thabit, and Aisha radiallahu anha, right? And then, of course, their knowledge inherited by the successor generations. So what we're learning, much of it can be traced back to a very early period in Islamic history.